This is Nassim Nicholas Taleb. On October 19, 1987, the Dow Jones fell 22.6%, wiping out $1.7 trillion from the market. This was the largest one-day percentage drop in the history of the Dow Jones, and on that day, Nassim Taleb made you money. Everybody who has ever worked a job where they don't like their boss would love to say you to them before hanging up the phone. So, how much money would you need to say this not just to your boss, but to anybody who tries to take control of your time? And how do you get there? Although not clearly stated how much he made, it is written in his book, The Black Swan. The capital is not so large as to make you spoiled rich, but large enough to give you the freedom to choose a new occupation without excessive consideration of the financial rewards. Since then, Mr. Taleb has infrequently worked as a trader, working short, intense, but entertaining periods of time, avoiding meetings, the company of achievers, and takes a sabbatical year for every 3 to fill up his gaps of knowledge. He is a flaneur, someone who meditates in cafes around the world, observing people and life. But how much money do you need to do this? Turns out it's personal for everybody, but it comes with a catch. In The Gambler, John Goodman says to Mark Wahlberg that $2.5 million gets you to a level of you. You get a roof over your head, get an indestructible Jap economy shitbox, and invest the rest into the system to get 3 to 5% a year to pay your taxes, and then you can do literally whatever you want. The movie came out in 2014, so accounting for inflation, 2.5 million of 2014, now we worth 3.4 million. So, how can you get there? Mr. Taleb advocates this path, and this is the path that he himself chose to make money in a scalable profession. He says that there are two kinds of worlds, Mediocristan and Extremistan, and you money can only be made in Extremistan. In Mediocristan, everyone and everything are not that different than each other, just like the weights of 1,000 people. If you line up 1,000 people and put the fattest man in the world in this list, he will still only account for a minuscule of the total proportion of the list, which is approximately only 0.5%. But now instead of weights, let's think of the net worths of these people. If we add Elon Musk to this list, who's the richest man at the time of recording this, with a net worth of $104 billion, he will account for 99.99% of the total wealth of this sample size, while the others will total to a few $1,000,000. Weights are a property of Mediocristan and net worths are a property of Extremistan. Scalable professions are also a property of Extremistan. It's where there's little to no cost of replication. If you want to create content for 1 million people, you only have to upload the video to YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok just once, not a million times. This is what it means to have little to no cost of replication, as your content can reach nobody or a million people, but you only have to create it once in either of the cases. This is the case for writers, singers, entrepreneurs, etc. But now this leads us into Extremistan. The problem with Extremistan is that a majority of people never make it, while those who do keep almost all of the profits. And someone who's best in their field will make a lot more than someone who's second best. To remedy this, Mr. Taleb gave us the barbell theory. Play it safe 95% of the time, while taking large risks 5% of the time. Work at a post office or as a librarian, jobs where your commitments cannot reach you after work on weekdays, and keep trying in scalable professions for the rest of your free time. You might make it when you get your lucky break, and if not, you'll still have the safety net of your boring job to fall back on. But you money isn't just limited to not doing what you don't want to. It also applies to making more money than you need to. He also says that he has seen a lot of people in whom an astonishingly high income led to additional sycophancy, a fancy word for kissing. It's because they became increasingly dependent on their clients and employers, and also addicted to making more money. So while you money does mean a lot of money, it has to be high enough to cure you of all financial ambition. So if an opportunity is presented to you to make a shit ton of money, but requires you to become a slave to your clients or employers, you can tell them to go themselves. Because you're only rich if money you refuse tastes better than money you accept.